Hi, this is Gary Kayye. We're here at ISE 2016, day 3 of the show, and I have pulled aside Toine Leerentveld. Toine, what is your role at Crestron?
I am the technology manager for control systems at Crestron Electronics and also part of our network security team.
Which is the reason why I pulled him aside. Over the last couple of weeks, security with control systems has been the forefront of a lot of people's minds that maybe never thought about it or maybe didn't realize they needed to think about it. I want you to address the obvious, and that is, what is Crestron doing to prevent security holes, if there are any, and what kind of education can integrators get to make sure that they understand this?
Sure, so Crestron has been taking security pretty seriously for quite a long time. As a matter of fact, I got here from an IT job on Wall Street at Crestron to be involved and get us up to speed on security. And our biggest drive is really to make it as secure but still usable, right? You kind of have this triangle of secure and usable and cheap, and we're trying to find that right balance between those three. But as a matter of fact, we are very active on the development side. We have tools in place that automatically check all our source code for security breaches or old versions of OpenSSL or OpenSSH. If anyone puts password in the hard coded in the source code, it gets caught and flagged, and we won't be able to make a build. So everything is done at that time already, as well as education of our engineers. As far as the end users, we have both a residential and an enterprise security deployment guide on our website.
So, I would say now, more than ever in the history of our industry, more stuff's being put on the network, and especially control systems. I would doubt that anyone would put a control system on in an installation without connecting it to a network somewhere. No. So you can't just go do that without having some knowledge of security. So where can you go get that knowledge? I mean, what kind of courses would you recommend they take? Do they go to Cisco and take their basic CNA class or CNE class? What should they do?
So the CNE classes are good. It gets you the networking perspective. Microsoft has a couple of good courses as Microsoft professionals that talk about security on the authentication side of things. So that's probably where I would start. And I mean, the internet has a lot of information publicly available that really lets you, get up to speed quickly.
And so, I mean, I think it's pretty well known that you're the largest control system manufacturer in the world. So people who have control systems, that is a point at which they're going to be concerned with the connectivity. And you say that you've been addressing this for years and you've been concerned about this, and this has been something that Crestron has taken very seriously. How do we know? In other words, it's like you connect it to a network and it's like this thing that you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. What kind of visual indicators and what kind of things do we need to look for as programmers and integrators so that we can make sure that our customers, and we don't end up getting sued or end up causing a catastrophic problem?
So what we don't have, but we are working on, is actually a little tool that you point at a device and it will tell you, how much of the secure deployment guide you've implemented. Right, so because we recognize that, it's not a green light on the front that says I'm secure. So and there are several levels of security. So we don't, it all depends on the enterprise or the homeowner going okay, there's this convenience and there's the security, and I determine where I sit on that scale. So we're working on a tool that basically points at a control system or a touch panel or any of our devices and tells you, okay, of the things from the deployment guide, these are the ones that are currently properly set up, and these are the ones you haven't done, and then you can say, yep, I know that's by choice or not.
So when you're using a third party is not Crestron, not owned by the homeowner, and not made by a company like Cisco product, and you're, say, deploying a Nest, so you've now plugged a Nest in as the controller for HVAC, but then you have a Crestron control system in your house or whatever. Yeah. Doesn't that become a security hole, even though you've got a Crestron control system, or can you plug those holes as well?
So those holes, I mean, the Nest is an outbound connection, right? So,
and I'm also not talking about, I use the Nest as an example, any kind of third party.
Yeah, so whenever you hook something up to your network that ends up connecting to the internet, there is a potential, and you'd have to talk to those manufacturers to figure out how to patch those holes. But again, if you set up your right firewalls and routers, you probably are in pretty good shape from a residential point of view.
And does Crestron offer security training, or do you have a guide, or do you have a FAQ section, or how would they go about getting that information?
We have, like I said, we have the secure deployment guides that literally are step by step. This is how you secure your entire system, not just the control system, but everything surrounded by it.
And that's on the Crestron website, or is that something available to integrators?
That is available to integrators on our online help system.
Online help system, okay. Well, look, this has been very educational for me because this is something I've always thought about and wondered about, but recent security holes in other control system companies have brought this forefront in other people's mind, and I thought I would just get your perspective on it. So, Toine, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Keep watching. We actually went through and shot about, 10 to 12 product videos on the new products you guys launched here at the show. So all you got to do is type in Crestron in the video search window. But we're also shooting videos at every booth on the show floor. So type in anybody's name and you'll find a video we've shot. So thanks for joining us, Toine. Thanks again.